So behind me, we have a 2014 Dodge Journey, and this Journey was involved in an automotive collision, and since then, it's had a constant overheating issue. So what we're doing right now is we're testing to make sure that the fans work, and we're going to see what's actually going on. So be sure to dive on in with us. So the first thing we did is we hooked up our VCI and our scan tool, and now we are looking at the live data for the high speed and low speed fan relay driver set. What that means is when I start this vehicle and I come into the engine compartment, we're looking to see if the high speed or the low speed fan relay desired state is on or off. Now, right now, both is showing us off, so we're going to let the vehicle get up to temp a little bit and see if these turn on. What I have done is I have removed the fuse panel box and I'm looking at the TIPM. Now, Mopar products of this year range use a totally integrated power module, which is sort of like a BCM and a fuse panel all combined into one. And what this does is this controls multiple functions across the chassis from the engine side to the chassis side and allows for us to give power to our starter solenoid as well as to our fan control relays. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fingers on both the high speed and the low speed fan relays to see when this vehicle decides that it's time to turn on the low speed or the high speed if I feel either of the relays click. So I'm just going to go ahead and let the temperature heat up and see what happens when we get to operating temperature. Alright, so we have it going up to operating temperature. It's at 206 degrees and none of the fans have asked to be turned on. So we're going to go ahead and turn the air conditioning on full blast to activate one of the fans. So now we can see here that our low speed fan relay, the desired state is on, and our high speed fan relay, desired state is on. You can hear that the fan is now turned on with the high speed and it turns off. So we know there are issues with the low speed circuit. So if the low speed circuit is the desired state commanded on and we don't have the fan operating, that's where we're going to start looking next. So go ahead and turn the AC off for me, bud. Turn the vehicle off. And I'm going to remove the high speed relay so that I don't have a false positive on the relay turning on. And then go ahead and start the vehicle back up for me. Right, and turn the vehicle off. Turn the vehicle back on. Alright, so I can feel the relay clicking on and off. So now what we have to do is test for power at the fan and then determine where we're losing power for this relay system. So you can go ahead and turn her off. So at this point in the diagnostic, we can confirm that when the high speed turns on for the desired state, that the high speed fan turns on. However, when the low speed fan relay desired state is the only one that's on, the fan does not work. I removed this high speed relay and confirmed that when the command state for the desired low speed fan is on, that the relay is clicking. So now what we have to do is look at the rest of the system to figure out why we're not getting power from the total integrated power module directly to our radiator fan. And because this was in a collision, we're going to be looking for a pinched or broken wire. But let's start at the source where the power is supposed to go and work our way backwards. Handsome James is going to be the hands here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to remove the power that is going to the radiator fan, and we're going to remove the power that's going to our resistor. And we're going to be checking to see if we're getting power from our resistor and getting power on the low speed circuit, because we've already confirmed that the high speed circuit works. Alright, so in James's hand right now, he actually has the resistor. And how the resistor works is it takes the same amount of current draw from the relay, because the high speed and low speed relay are actually the same exact relay, and they're sending the exact same power. And what the resistor does is it lowers the voltage that's able to pass through going directly to the actual radiator fan. So you'll see here that this big guy here, this is your big resistor, and this is for the low speed circuit. And your little baby resistor here, this is your high speed circuit. So they're both setting 12 volts. They're both setting the same amperage. The only difference is that less electricity is getting through on one side. So what we're going to do is we're going to first do a continuity test here to make sure that we have good continuity between this resistor and this resistor. what's possibly happening here is that we are having a bad resistor, which is stopping the electricity to flow directly to the radiator fan. And we can test that using a voltmeter. We'll also use a power probe to test to make sure that we're getting the power that we want to all the locations. All right, so I'm going to check the resistance of the low speed resistor. And I have 14.2 ohms. And let's check the high speed resistor. I've got an open loop. All right, so let's do this again. Let's test between these two terminals and see what's going on. I have an open loop. Test to make sure everything's okay. So when I go to my resistor here, I see that I have an open loop, which means that our resistor is bad, which means our low fan speed is not working, and that means that the high speed relay goes directly to the fan. So what we can do right now is we can install a jumper wire so that the low speed and the high speed operate at the same. I'm going to remove the high speed relay so that we're not sending too much juice, and we're going to test this theory out a little bit further. All right, so we are using a very small gauge wire here as our jumper, and we're not going to use this for a long time because when a jumper is this small, it's going to burn out. But this is just us doing a quick automotive test to see what's happening. All right, so now what we're going to do, we have our jumper wire installed where the resistor for the low speed circuit is. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come back to our scan tool and we're going to look at the high speed fan and the low speed fan. And we're just going to go ahead and start the vehicle and see if by bypassing the low fan speed resistor, do we get the low speed fan to work when the commanded state is on from the TIPM. Go for it, James. So low fan speed desired rate is on, and we have the fan operating. So as you can see here, our low speed fan relay desired, it's on. The fan is working, which means we found our culprit for the low fan speed, being that our resistor here has failed. So this resistor actually only operates for the low fan speed, and this entire unit just is for low fan speed. It has nothing to do with the high fan speed, which is what I had said earlier. I was incorrect, and I'm happy to be, because now we know what our problem is. Once we replace this vehicle will stay cool, operate well, and have no further issues. Well, that concludes the diagnostic and the pinpointing the failure of the vehicle overheating. What happened is that the resistor for the low speed fan circuit had failed. When we tested it with our ohm meter, we had an open loop, which means that something internally here has died and there's no connection. This being failed means that our low fan speed circuit was not able to get power to the fan relay. We bypassed it, and after we bypassed it, we were able to determine that the fan was actually working and everything else is fine. So once this part comes in this afternoon, we'll be able to return this vehicle back to the customer. Thanks for watching this video, and if you want to have diagnostic services done on-site at your location, be sure to give us a call. We love working with fleets and partnering with your business. I'm Blair with Revit Auto, and as always, happy motoring.